The title of your notes is going to be called Section 1.1 Ratio Language. Ratio language. So first off, what's a ratio? Well, a ratio is an ordered pair of numbers that represent the relationship between two quantities that are not both zero. So a ratio is an ordered pair of numbers that represent the relationship between two quantities that are not both zero. So there are three ways to speak ratio language. So there are three ways. Now, the first way, for example, we're just going to say, for example, let's talk candy. So let's say 5 Skittles there are 12 mints. There are 12 mints, or you can even say 12 M&Ms. Let's say M&Ms. So your example is, for every 5 Skittles, there are 12 M&Ms. So your first way is 5, and then you'll use these 2 dots, like a colon, 5 to 12. Your second way is just 5, and then the word 2, 12. And lastly, your third way is 5 over 12, or just 5/12. There are your three ways, really, to write ratios. Now go and just draw a little line right here. And there are keywords and phrases to describe ratios. So go and write keywords/phrases and ratios. Keywords/phrases and ratios. Okay, so the first keyword is to. When you see the word to, that is a keyword. Another keyword is for every. For every. This is a phrase you will see often. For every. And then there's for each. For each. And out of every. Out of every. So these are 4 very key words and phrases you'll see often. To, for every, for each, and out of every. Okay? Now go and write note. Go and write note right there. Now note that ratio, and this is important, ratio AB is not the same as ratio BA. Ratio AB is not the same as ratio BA. So there are a few sentence frames that you'll need to know. Sentence frames. And this is how our ratios really get started. You'll see this one very often. This first one is for every blank, there are blank. And the second most common that you'll run into is the ratios of blank to blank is blank. The ratios of blank to blank is blank. These are the most two common sentence frames you'll run into. Now, what are the 3 steps to complete ratios? Well, the steps to complete ratios are as followed. Number 1, read ratio in order. In order. Order is important. So number 1, read ratio in order. Number 2 is create your table in order. Create your table in order. So you'll actually build your own table. Your table will tell you your answers. Number 2 is create your table in order. And 3 is write your ratio. Write your ratio in 3 ways. In 3 ways. In order. In order. So you'll write your ratio in 3 ways, just like you see here. 1, 2, 3. In order. And last but not least, put a star right here. This right here is important. If you see a star, this is important. Order, and this is in all capital letters, matters. Order matters. If you change the order, if you change the order, you change the meaning. You change the meaning. Order matters. If you change the order, you change the meaning. So let's try an example. Here's example 1. Go ahead and write example 1. And your first example is, for every 5 coffee mugs, there are 12 cups. There are 12 cups. So, step 1 just tells us read ratio in order. For every 5 coffee mugs, there are 12 mugs, or rather cups. Cups. Step 2 says create your table in order. So let's go and create our table. Go and write CM for coffee mugs. That comes first. Just draw a line. And then cups come next. Draw a line. And then you'll just write total. You'll total all the items in your problem. So how many coffee mugs do we have? Well, we just have 5. How many cups do we have? C for cups. Well, we have 12 cups. And how many total items do we have? Well, 5 plus 12 gives you 17. And the last step just says write your ratio in 3 ways in order. So go and write ratio is mugs to cups. That's our ratio we're looking for. So our mugs, coffee mugs, 5, 2, so we'll write 2, cups is 12, 5 to 12. That's our first way. 5 to 12 is our second way. And 5 over 12, or you might even see it like this, 5/12 is your third way. Now, let's go ahead and try another example. So at the top, go and write example 2. Example 2. Okay? Example 2 says to, in a bag of candy, the ratio of red candies to yellow candies is 15 to 10. 15 to 10. So step 1 just says to read a bag of candy. The ratio of red candies to yellow candies is 15 to 10. Step 2 says make our table. So go ahead and write RC for red candies, YC for yellow candies, and total. And total. Go ahead and put an underline right there. All right. So go ahead, red candies we know is 15 because that comes first in order. Yellow candies is 10, and total is 25. And lastly, step 3 says write our 3 ways in which we write ratios. So go ahead and write ratio, which is red to yellow candy. And we have 15 to 10, 15 to 10, and 15 over 10, or 15/10. And here's your last example. Go and write example 3. And go and write, in a class, there are 2 teachers for every 30 students. Step 1, in a class, there are 2 teachers for every 30 students. So step 2 says write your table. T for teachers, S for students, total for total. And draw your line. We know teachers we have 2, students we have 30, and total we have 32. And step 3 says to write your ratio in your 3 ways. So go and write ratio. Here's your ratio again. Is teachers to students. Teacher or teachers to students. So we have 2 to 30. We have 2 to 30. We have 2 over 30, or 2/30. So on your own, go ahead and draw a little line just across right there. And on your own, go ahead and try examples 4 and 5 on your own. So for example 4, go ahead and draw a table. Go ahead and write genre. We're talking music here. And write genre and number of songs. Okay. So we're looking at a playlist. We have pop, and not the kind you drink. We're talking pop music, country, and rock. Some of my favorite genres of music. You have 6 pop, 12 country, and 15 rock. All right. So part A is ratio of pop songs to country songs. And then go ahead and write B, ratio of total songs to rock songs. And this is where your table will come in handy. And C is ratio of pop songs to rock. All right. And then when you're finished with that, go ahead and try example 5. Example 5 is store A sells chips and ice cream. Yum, that sounds good. Ice cream ratio of total snacks to chips is 12/7. Okay. So go and try numbers 4 and 5 on your own.